Okay, guys, how we doing here? We are on the last day of the month of July, it's 31st Wednesday, and right. So we threw up the poll this morning here. Now I'm gonna veto the Bitcoin requests. Right? I know everybody wants to look at Bitcoin, but I'm gonna give it a detailed analysis on Friday. You're gonna get Grandmaster Quan's take on Bitcoin and the crypto space in general tonight. So you're going to get a full dose of Bitcoin analysis over the next couple of days. And really, there's not, well, sure, it's nice to see it back over 10K. It's really not enough there to really say much other than, well, we've got a little green today, but I don't think we're ready to call it a trend change just yet. Now, ETH and Litecoin were the other two you were looking at. The chart patterns are very, very similar here, but I think it's a little bit more important to take a look here at Ethereum because we've got, you can make a case here that this is, well, there are really some mixed signals here, but this can be an example here where the Elliott is going to help you or perhaps keep you out of a trade that's just not ready yet. So here, we've been through this many times, right? So off of the low here, I think we can all agree that we have an impulsive move off the low, and now we're in the process of correcting that. I have absolutely no doubt that all of you have done this, right? So we know why it stops here. So we look at it and go, okay, are we done? Could that be done? Well, all right, there's 5 up, 3 down. So the raw ingredients are there. We're a little shy on the time factor here in terms of length of time for ideal symmetry. Not a deal killer if I love the setup here, but I think as we get into the subdivision here, I'm not dying to buy it, despite the fact, right? So if we just look at it just on the raw swing retracement, we are absolutely in the sweet spot, right? So you could certainly make a case, well, fuck it, right? Or the algos are going to buy it there, so let's just get long. Well, so I understand that thinking, right? For all we know, this thing just flies out of here. But at the moment, this is where the Elliott, I think, really can be helpful here because while that's tempting, I just don't think we're ready yet. So the first thought is, we just tagged clearly we've come down to the golden zone here. You're anticipating some buy side pressure here from the algo that was sitting there waiting to defend, and we're just not getting a lot of legs here. So yeah, you take it down to a 5-10 minute, you could probably make some case for some sort of a swing retrace. But if you really look at the wave count, it really just doesn't support it. So I'm trying to give you guys the context here of where Elliott perhaps is not needed, or is perhaps actually making things worse here. I think it's potentially helping us define when the timing is better here for a trade. So I'm just going to take that off since we all know that's there. Let's go look at that. I think we got to go down to the 30-minute here to look at this subdivision. It just doesn't look like we're ready yet right? So if you're going to apply Elliott rule set here, well, I've got a clear 5 coming down. I get a very, it's hard to miss the 5-3, and then I can dig 5 out of that. It's an ugly diagonal, but I can get to that ABC. Well, I can't just ignore it, right? I got a little zigzag there. So I got to call it something. So therefore, all right, I got a W. ABC and do an X. Okay, so what does that imply? It implies that I need an ABC to finish this. Well, again, it's hard to argue with that 5 there. Now, I considered the possibility, and I think we had looked at this previously. Maybe since I can get a clear 5 here, maybe you could do some sort of A, B, because you could get the C to finish down here. And let's take that up, get it in yellow here so we can just compare and contrast. Okay, so could I make this case here? Let's scrunch back in a little bit. All right, so one, I'd have to be allowing for an extremely shallow, either case, right? I've got to allow for a very shallow retracement here. We just essentially go sideways and stutter before the fall. So whether it's a 2 or a B, it's awfully skinny. Now coming down, I can get a 1-2 there and a 3-4-5. So, you look and you go, well, if it's A, B, you'd think you'd be done there. It just doesn't fit as well. So I think this is now less likely. I think what we do have here is 1-2, and this 1-2-3-4-5 is the impulse in the third. If this is correctly identified as my 4, and it's hard to argue with it. All right, so despite the shallow 2, all right, so we're coming right to the 38. We stay under the Vegas wave. We don't quite get to algo target. So I don't, I'm looking, is there something else they use? Because that be the 2, now I'm getting closer, but I don't, I'm a little suspicious of this being a hard low here per the wave 2 is in, and now we're off for a trend change. I just don't see it. What I think is more likely here is that we've just got the A wave that's gone in here. This is the A, because it just doesn't look like we can even dig a motive wave out of here. I know it's tempting to, I think this is what I think we're likely headed to. So if let's go down here and look at this, right? So I know you're dying to go, oh, 1, 2. Yeah, I get it, or I see it. So from coming down this side, you can kind of see the case for the, oh shit, can we get, yeah, we can. All right, so let's just, and you can get that you can get it to finish here in a 5. You can get this, all right? It's here, because this, we go, yeah, so it's here. All right, so I can get, and amazingly, right, we don't overlap, so I can finish with an impulse. So I get the temptation, right? So God darn it, guys, so sorry. That's frustrating. My bigger problem is this section here. I can't get a decent motive wave out of that. It just doesn't fit. Where now you going down to the 5 minutes to try and get a 1, 2 out of that. Yeah, I looked at it. So even if you tried that, right? So I kind of looked at it and said, oh, maybe it's here, 1, 2. Okay, that's not far enough. So then you put the 3 here, and you think, yeah. So if you'd gone 4, if we had that, maybe. But this, I cannot dig. I mean, could you force fit it? Probably. But do I want to trade off of something that I've had to force fit to accommodate some sort of a bias that I have in the market? No, I don't. So I don't know what the hell this is. I just don't like it as anything other. Now, it's easier to call this an ABC. Even that, Jesus. You see, because you can't get the only place you can get a 5 is here. So I'm more inclined to go to, oh shit, can we do it this way? Expanded B. Jesus, it's just ugly. A, B, C. Right, so clearly an area of confusion. So I don't know what we have here. There's nothing that's clear here. Maybe A, B, C, shit. But then you're. I just don't like it enough, right? So I don't know what it is. I can't get something to go. Got it. Clear. I understand what it is. Yeah, I can see a little 5 here. So I'm more inclined now. Then the next question, all right, well, is it technical? So maybe this is where you go, oh shit, do I even need to worry about the Elliott wave here? Well, you could, if you come here, it's just, this looks decent, right? So that's likely an algo took that, right? Retrace, it's, yeah, right. So I guess I'm making that point abundantly clear. I just don't like this enough to go, oh, there's my 1 wave, right? So the 2 is in, there's the 1, 2. This just looks like as Grandmaster Quan likes to call it, this is just sideways fuckery. This is just untradeable. Look at these wicks, right? This is untradeable. Not the kind of conditions that I want to trade. So I'm in a hurry up and wait here. I think what's more likely is if I pull this back out here, we're just in some sort of corrective mode here relative to the larger degree here, that we're still seeking the Y down here. However this is going to resolve here, I don't think you can make the case for the 1, 2, 3. Now, if it blows out of here like this, and we get, if we get the 1, 2, and I get a big rip here, well, I'll be the first one to be back in here digging to try and figure that out to see how I can get that to work. But I just don't see it. And if I've got to work that hard to get an Elliott count to fit, next chart, as far as I'm concerned. This is just a big cluster F right here. No idea what that is. And again, I promise you 10 Elliotticians are going to give you 10 different answers there. So why? Why force a trade here? I'm not worried about missing anything. Even if it does that. Okay, great, fine, no problem. Okay, we get a little push out of here. I'll take the first retrace, no problem. But I don't see the count finishing here. So I think the Elliott is helpful here because we have to call this zig. We can't just ignore the zigzag. Well, it's more convenient to just call this an AB. Can't do it. So I look here and I go, I don't like it enough yet, so I'm just in hurry up and wait. If I can get this over here, so pulling back out to that 4 hour, right? let's get, if we're done here, we know we can go beyond, we can go down here, we can go to 786. Here's point of control on visible range, but it's not going to move too terribly much here. So we're still down here. So I think this is what we're doing here. I think we're going like this. Now, do we go break this low? Not necessarily, but that's what I think looks better here for Ethereum. I'm going to feel much better about putting on a long trade here. I think it's I wouldn't want to sell it here right above the golden zone. So I'm not looking for a short here. I'm trying not to be bullishly biased, even though I am a longer term bull here. You know, I'm just waiting for this 2 to set up better for me, right? There's so many things to trade. Why would I force something in here? So what's the rationale? Well, we hit the golden zone. I don't want to miss something. Yeah, I understand. I get you, man. I mean, I completely get that. So, but if this turns out to be a 1, 2, 3, so confirm it for me. Give me the 3, and I'll take that retrace into the 4 to the 5. And then if we get that, okay, then I'm there, right? So all of that is still why force something here? Just no reason for it. So I think this would be. I mean, you can roll the dice here, right? So there's certainly nothing that says that this chance just rip right out of here. You know, some event, who knows, that a whale steps in. You just no idea. But if you're just trying to set up a trade with good risk reward based on a chart pattern that you can clearly identify that fits with all of the prior analysis, I just don't think it's there. So my suggestion here, I take it for what it's worth, is just sit, right? You're not going to miss. It's not going to do that without some sort of a little retrace. All right, and if it does that, you know, there'll be little opportunities along the way. I'd be willing to risk missing this on the odds that it were just going to go straight to target, which I think is highly unlikely. But it could. Of course, we're going to have resistance on the way back, right? Always now go on the other side. So we got all of this to get through. We got to get through this. Here, now we get through this. Now clear sailing. Well, but of course, we're still going to have upper resistance, but the idea that we've got the completed 1 and the 2 is in starts to solidify more as we get through this. Until then, no reason to chase anything there. All right, guys, I'll be back to you later.